Yo, what's going on, guys? In this video, we're going to be doing Gavel from HackTheBox. The box rated about solid medium. And yeah, let's get on to the video. As always, I'm starting by opening my terminals here. I'm starting pinging the IP address. So ping count for 3, 410, 6.74. We did get a response back from the server. So server mmap scan. So the MMISSC for default scripts and generation. What's kind of ports on the IP doing this? I'll do mine verbose. We have a total of 2 ports open. Port 22 open for SSH and also port 80 open for HTTP. I'm starting visiting port 80. So I already do have this as gavel.htb. So I put this into my /z hosts. You'll see that I do have that for 10.129.6.74 for gavel.htb. Look at this. We do have a gavel.2.0. Seems like this is going to be a, not too sure what this is. Maybe a list of items for sale or something. We have a login and also a register. Before doing some more information, I'm running GoBuster. So GoBuster to remote my students at the IP address. We'll do -w for user share word list or buster directory. List 2.3 medium.txt. Do extensions HTML, TXT, and also PHP. Look at this. We have HTML.php. These are all 4 threes. 200 for next.php. Login.php and register.php. So we do know that this is going to be running PHP. And we also do have a .git. So .git file or path would be just a list of files that we can get. We can use git dumper for this. Let's go to the GitHub repository. Go to git dumper. And we can just export this to a directory and get all those files, right? So I'll go to git dumper. We'll do a Python 3 for git_dumper.py. You'll see that's requesting the URL. So I'll go back. I'll make a directory for files. So into git dumper. We'll do Python 3 for git dumper for this .git. We'll go back into files, and this will put everything and start fetching all the git files. We can start by looking for like any git log for any additional changes within the log, as well as any files that are within the repository. So we do have info, index, right? Logs. We check index. Go to ref, objects, and we should have some other files in here. So we can go back. Clear my terminals here. Go to files. And now we do have some files here, such as admin, bidding, inventory.php, login, logout, and register. So I'm guessing these are going to be what's inside the admin panel. So let's start by confirming that. Let's go to login and we can register. So I'll specify the username as proxy. It is for the username and password 123 and 123. Go to create account, go to proxy, and then we do have the password as proxy123. And we do have an auction hall. You can save that. And we do have an auction hall. So let's go to inventory, let's go to bidding, do everything under here. We do have we can enter a bid here for 707. I'm guessing the current bid. And we can place a bid for each one. So look at this. We have bidding.php. Also do have inventory.php. So I'm going to go to this bidding.php, see what there is. Seems like this is just a normal page. We do have some PHP here. We do have session as well as the user ID. Basically just doing select statements from select money from users where ID is ID. And just executing that ID. We also did have a inventory.php. Let's check out this inventory.php since there is SQL within the other file, which we did find for, what was it, the bidding.php. So we do have some post and also get requests or methods here for posting the user ID and also the user_ID as well as forget. So looking at this, we do have a call here, and this is doing a string replace. We can start by injecting payloads. I believe we can do like a backtick for our scale. And this is gonna be under inventory. So let's go to inventory, see what this is. I'm guessing it's just this page here, inventory. And yeah, this is simply just inventory for, I guess, probably gonna be this is gonna be SQL injection, just by the type of page it is, and also seems like it just doesn't have any sanitization for any backticks that are stripped, right? And also looking at the user ID, we have a post for user ID, and simply this is just accepting user input for the user ID. So if we go question mark for user underscore, I believe it's underscore ID, user underscore ID, we can just do this for 1. And this will show up for, you see for NDA. We could probably fuzz this, and you'll see that this is doing for different types of IDs. In this case, we change this back to 1, and we only see the NDA for the specific inventory for it, which is in the database. We do 2, inventory is empty. So I'm going to copy this. We can put this within like burp sweep, or we can pass this to burp sweep as well. So I'll do else minus LA. I do have my payload.txt here, which we can use. This is going to allow us to extract the hashes from, let's go to burp sweep. Send this within repeater. Press turn on that, go to send. And this should get us the hashes for Octationer, as well as my user, which I did create, which is going to be for proxy123. Of course, we have that within like a rocky.txt, then we can crack that. So let's get both of these hashes. We'll get Octationer here for this hash. I'm going to VN to hash.txt. Or right quick, I'll crack this with John, do minus word list is equal to user share word list rock.txt for hash.txt. This seemed like it was already cracked, so we'll do John minus show for hash.txt. Now you see that we have the user for Octationer with the password for midnight1. So I'll put this into my text editor. And now we do have for Octationer and midnight1. So we do have port 22 open for SSH, I believe. So port 22 open for SSH. Also port 80 open for HTTP. So we can use port 22 to SSH. If this doesn't work, then we can start by see if we can log into the web app and see if we can successfully get logged in as Octationer. Let's press it on that. We have the password as midnight1. Press it on that. And we don't have, that is not the correct password for Octationer. Well, it might be. However, they might be disabling any SSH authentication. So we'll just see if we can log in through the web app. So go to login. We have the user as Octationer and the password as midnight1. Enter the auction hall. And now we do have, we are logged in as admin. We have an admin panel, also a bidding. So now that we're under the admin panel, I'm going to see if we can, we'll look at the request here. I'm going to go to inspect. Let's go to network. We can edit a rule. I'm not sure what this is. If I do like 1, 2, 3 for edit, we'll see we don't really see anything. We have a SB admin JS. These are restricted to JS files. Let's delete that. Go to reload. 1, 2, 3. As filter this to PHP, and we just have simply an admin.php, which is being loaded. So I'm gonna go back to those files. I believe we did have it under, go to else my layer. We do have files. We did not visit includes. Go to includes. We have a config.php. Simply we have Gavel as the username and password. Let's go to this DB. Same thing here, just passing the credentials. Let's go to this bit handler. The reason I check this bid handler is because we can edit the rule for the bid. So let's check back here. Doesn't seem like anything. We have a just username. We can do the bid amount, the bid ID. We have the bid ID under here. So we just have the rule and the ID. Let's look at this. We do have a run kit underscore function add. Well, basically this is going to be a PHP run kit, which allows for current bid, previous bid, bidder, and rule to execute or to have execution of PHP code on the server. This runs with 3 timers or 3 items with timers that allow for execution of PHP code. So I'm going to start by editing the rule. We do have an invisible quote here, which is this one. We have time traveling soon. So I'm guessing this is the timer that we do have. So you have the edit rule. We'll open this within a text editor. So I want to start by running system. System will allow this for bash execution. We'll specify bash -i. We'll do just a reverse shell that we can run. Let's go to pen test monkey. Let's go to rev shell Linux. We can specify my IP address, and we'll do this on 9001. We'll specify return equal this to true. We can copy this. We'll put this into here. So we'll just make sure that we do have our payload first before executing anything. But next we do need to execute that bid. I believe the name of this includes file, or inside this includes directory. We do have a bid underscore handler.php. I'm going to specify curl. We'll just open this in a new terminal. So we'll do curl. We'll do X for post. Specify let's go to this bid handler.php just to make sure that it does exist. Let's go to includes bid handler.php, and we'll see that the auction has ended. Of course, we need to specify the cookie as well as the auction and everything included within the bid handler that it does accept for JSON. So copy the URL. We'll do post. We'll specify -h for the cookie. Same thing. We do have the admin cookie. Go to inspect. Go to storage. And we have the value. And for the JSON, we do have the auction ID. So I believe this was specified, or let's go to bid handler, right? Let's go to bid handler. So we have this for the bid amount, username. Let's go to bidding. We'll do Control U. Let's see if we can find the ID, the name for the ID. We have the auction underscore ID, which we do need, which is allowing us to specify the auction ID. And in this case, we can change this to later on, depending if it does expire. In this case, we have the value for 139. We can specify the and command, so we can specify another variable. And of course, we also need the bid underscore amount. And the bid amount, which should match, let's go back. 619, so we can, or 916, so we can do, I don't know, just 1000. Press around that. So we only have the... So we have only bids greater than 5,000. This must have expired. I guess it's only bids higher than 5,000. We'll do this for 6,000. Bid placed successfully. The third part listener will do all wrap. So it's on 9,001, as well as we do have our payload. I want to wait for this to expire because we do have 22 seconds. We'll wait for this to expire. And meantime, we can get our payload here for system. That will execute a function for system and execute our reverse shell. So now we do have a wizard expired. Let's go to admin panel, edit rule, go to edit. We'll do Control U. Let's check the auction ID, which is to 139, which we do have 139. And the bid, current 6,000. Let's change to 7,000. We do ID. Now we have a shell. Do a bash -i. Export my term is equal to X term. We do ID. And now under www data. So I'm going to start by doing some enumeration. I'll do ls -la. We'll go under /home. Doesn't seem like we have permission for practitioner. We can also check if we do have the same password for practitioner. I believe it was midnight1, which is the same password for the web app. We do bash -i. We do ID. And now we're in practitioner. So I'm going to start by doing some enumeration. I'll go under /opt. We do have a Gavel under here. We do have a .config, also a Gavel, also sample YAML. Let's go to the sample YAML file. Let's cat this out. And we do have a name description. Not sure what this is doing. There is some type of rule happening here, which gets the current bid, previous bid, and not too sure what this is doing. I guess it's just checking for the bid, for the previous bid and current bid, if it's greater than or equal to the previous bid. Basically, just a rule for doing that. So I'm going to check for any, since we are under, since we did check for, since we are under the user for practitioner, I'll go to Linux Prevesk. Let's go to cheat sheet. Let's go to SUID. Let's see if we can run this. Doesn't seem like we have anything. Let's run this as root. So I'll do a fine. We'll start by grepping out for, we do have Gavel, so I'm going to grep out for anything for Gavel. So you can find anything under like maybe user bin. I'll grep this out. doesn't seem like we found anything. And we do have a user local bin Gavel util. I'll do a ls myself against this. Also file command. So this is a 64-bit executable for Linux. And can we execute this? And it does seem like we can submit status and invoice. The reason I want to run ls myself, we do have a root and also a Gavel seller. We're under Octitianer, but if we do ID, we can also run this as a group for 1001 for Gavel dash seller. So I'll do Control L. Let's go back. I'll go under my home directory. I already do have this copied. This payload, all this payload is doing is fixing the PHP permissions to allow PHP to be executed on under a rule, right? So we have disable functions. This has led to just a blank string as well as to base dir. And this will just overwrite the PHP configuration for basically just override the PHP configuration to allow PHP execution and also open base dir and disable functions as well. So you can press it on that. We do have let's cat our permissions YAML file. And now you see that we have the item, the rule. This will follow put contents into opt Gravel config, the PHP, and then PHP ini. If we go back, go into opt, we did see that we had let's go to the config, cd into PHP, go to php.ini, and now we have engine or the disable functions to blank, open base dir for blank as well, so it doesn't check for directory basing. And we don't have anything of that, and that's what that payload is doing, just specifying the PHP payload or config file for Gavel, right? So after a while, I did put this into a one-liner. You can probably use AI to fix the syntax as well to ensure that there's proper. You're replacing this within just replacing over each line. Doing this, use AI probably would be simpler to do this. I just press it on that. We can submit the job, and the item is submitted for view for the next auction. So for the next payload, I do have this same thing for this root-bash YAML. All this is doing is copying. Let's go back. This is doing a copy bin bash to opt Gravel root bash. Doing chmod, turning this into a SUID binary to opt root bash. So once we do run the command, this will create a SUID binary for under opt Gavel root bash. So you press it on that. So now we do have that root bash YAML. Cat this out. If we do which, we do have that Gavel unit or util. We'll do a submit, and this will be against that root bash YAML. Let's go to ls mostly /opt Gavel. Now we do have that root bash. Now I'm just going to copy the root bash, do -p for privilege mode. We do ID. Now we do have the UID for root. cd into root, do pwd, ls myself, and the cat root.txt. Well, guys, pretty much like and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.